Fellow shluchim, shluchos, good friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You know, at a dinner like this, people normally get up, they tell you what they do, how they do it, and then they tell you how much it's going to cost. But before I do that, I would like to tell you, why. Why we do what we do. What drives so many of us around the world and around the UK to be part of this phenomenon that is unprecedented in Jewish history. Choosing to live away from the comforts of family and community, committing to do so for life, rather than just for a 4 or 5 year stint. You know, tonight is not the first time this question has been asked. In fact, someone once asked the Rabbi why he allows his followers to do the previously unheard of and live among unaffiliated Jews, raise their families in places that's away from any Jewish infrastructure. The Rebbe's response was very defining. He asked the person, tell me, what would you do if one of those people that you're talking about, unaffiliated, was your child living out there in the other end of the world? What would you do? He says, oh, if it was my child, I would find the best talent and I'd get the best person I could to send them there and to make sure that all their needs are taken care of and to help them. Well, thank you, the Rebbe said. Well, because for me, every Jewish child is like my child, my family. This approach formed the bedrock of our ethos, of the Chabad ethos, and it influences everything we do. If every Jew is indeed your family, you won't rest until they are taken care of. You know, many people say they love Chabad because we're non-judgmental. The truth is, that's very nice, but when it comes to your own child, judgment doesn't even come as part of the equation, because love is unconditional. You know, a few months ago, on the way back from spending Shabbat with about 120 students and their shliach at a university up north, we were driving down the M1, and I was getting really tired, so I stopped for a cup of coffee. And the lady behind the counter, the woman behind the counter, asks me my name. And you know, they put it on the back, they tend to put it on the cup. They write your name. And they almost always get it wrong. I mean, look at this guy, for example. They're going to go, this guy said his name was Mark with a C. Now, if that's not hard enough, Bentzi is going to be really tough, right? So I go to the counter, it's like, yes, Bentzi. She gives me the smile, and you can imagine my surprise when she gives me my cup with my name Bentzi, perfectly spelled out in Hebrew. My Chabad instinct kicked in. Here I was at a busy counter in the middle of nowhere with only a few seconds to engage. There's everyone screaming and there was yelling and there was a big crowd and it was a busy highway. And now I had to engage. I had only a few seconds to engage this obviously Jewish girl from Israel living out there somewhere off the M1. All right? What do I tell her? How do I connect her to Judaism in the next split second? So before they called the next customer, I said 3 words. I said, Shalom, ani me Chabad. Hi, I'm from Chabad. Instantly, her eyes lit up and she says, really? Can I come for Shabbat? To this Jewish girl, thousands of miles from home, the words I'm from Chabad mean, I am here for you. You're part of our family. Welcome. It means, I believe in your individuality, that Judaism is yours and we will give you the tools that you need in a personalized way that is meaningful and relevant to you. It means a proud, joyful, and positive Judaism. And it means the opportunity to find the deeper intellectual, spiritual meanings to why we're alive and the reasons behind what we do. It means no matter what you need, no matter who you are, we will be there for you. So let me give you a little sampling of some of what we've done since we've last met at the last dinner. At 14 Chabad centers across the country, Chabad has connected with 5,000 Jewish students. Be it at a Shabbat, Be it at a Shabbat meal, a visit from a rabbi at the student house, social programs, or public Jewish events. Now, more than ever, the warm, safe, home away from home that Chabad on campus has created for the next generation of Anglo Jewry is vital. There is no need for me to elaborate on the current challenges that young students are facing at universities across the country. But students and their parents know that shluchim have dedicated their lives to always be there for them 24/7. You know, on a more joyful note, in recent years alone, over 100 students met their Jewish spouse at Chabad on campus. 100 people, think about that. Think about that. That's 50 Jewish families. It's a whole community right there. Now, while the years on campus may be precarious, moving back, starting on a career for the first time, can be more daunting in an uncertain and real world. It has become evident that what we need is a full-time, dedicated couple who can be there for the postgraduates at this crucial turning point in their life, helping them bridge their gaps from university to the work life, and all those risky things that happen during that time. On the educational front, in our schools, over 800 students are educated from kindergarten to A-levels and beyond. And in summer day camps across the country, over 2,000 children had a meaningful and fun holiday in a Jewish atmosphere. Now, we take our responsibility very seriously. Last year, we pioneered a partnership with NSPCC to train every Chabad Shliach in new, robust, tailor-made child safeguarding programs so that every child who comes through a Chabad house is safe. Chabad is also known for promoting Jewish pride. A little over 2 weeks ago, 2,000 Jewish teenagers gathered in Times Square. I would like to tell you what happened there, but really, my words cannot do justice to what happened there. So I'll have to show you, bear with me, a very brief clip. It's under a minute, under 30 seconds. Here goes.
Yes, I'm a Jew, a proud one too, as bright as day. It's my DNA.
We stand here after experiencing a Shabbos like no other at the C-Teen International Shabbaton.
Forever will be. Yes, I'm a Jew, a proud one too, won't stop or stray. It's my DNA. So shout out loud, I feel real proud. I'm Yisrael forever.
This wasn't someone dreaming, and those images on those billboards at Times Square, they were not photoshopped. This was the Havdalah concert following Chabad International C-Teen Shabbaton. Let me tell you, every teenager who walked out of that concert and that Shabbaton walked out beaming with pride about their Jewishness. C-Teen is a new initiative that harnesses the incredible potential of teenagers with awesome programming that bring them together so they can give back. It is inspired by the Rebbe's belief in the power of youth, which transformed the teenage years into a time of purpose and self-discovery. From Sukkot to Pesach and in between, and Hanukkah and in between, 15,000 people attended holiday events with Chabad all around the country. New shluchim have moved to places like Bristol, Wimbledon, Cambridge, Bournemouth, Epping, and beyond. We're currently evaluating new underserved areas where Jewish people are moving to, such as Shoreditch, Greenwich, and others, to ensure that where necessary, everyone is served. The number of Jews affected by Chabad in this country is in the tens of thousands every year. I'm sure that my late father, Rabbi Sudak, is spiritually here with us today, and he is looking down, proud of the way his fellow shluchim are continuing the mission that the Rebbe entrusted with him all those years ago. So, Baruch Hashem, we're doing great things, but it's clear there's so much more to be done. Over the coming years, we plan to build on the recent successes of Chabad, especially in the areas mentioned. Could you imagine a concert like that here in London for our kids, not just the ones who made it across the pond? Imagine what that would do for our community. Trickle-up economics, as they call it. It would really lift everything up. To meet our growth objectives, though, it's come clear that we need to ensure that we are sustainable in the long-term future. And to this end, we plan to hire a new talented, ambitious CFO who will enable us to take the organization to the next level, as well as putting us in a position to establish an endowment fund that will ensure that Chabad is there for your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Help wanted, inquire within. Our mission is a very big one. We can't do it alone. Our overall budget is £7.4 million, of which, through state aid, government grants, and through what Shluchim are able to raise locally, about £6 million is covered. The budget shortfall for Chabad this year is £1.4 million. We hope that with your generous help, we can meet much of this target. And of the money you donate tonight, we'll divide it into 3 parts. The first part will support our vital work on campus and post-campus. The second part will be spent on supporting initiatives of Jewish pride, such as Trafalgar Square menorahs, Sukkot, menorahs around C-teams, all those things you've seen, boosting the national level of Jewish pride, beyond which a local Chabad house can accomplish on their own. And the final portion will be allocated towards supporting the infrastructure that makes it all possible. So some of you may be asking if it's well known that each shliach is an entrepreneur and each Chabad house is designed to be self-sufficient. Why did I mention campus? So let me answer that very briefly. Over the past few years, the expansion of Chabad on campus was thanks to a very generous benefactor. And now we're in a transition phase to establish each Chabad campus center on its own footing. And we need to ensure that the transition is smooth for each center and that a single Jewish student is turned away due to lack of funds. Like every shliach, my work is a close partnership with my wife, Rabbi. Rabbi and I would like to... Thank you. Rabbi and I would like to thank our dedicated team, without whom tonight's success would not have been possible. They are the team in the office, Lauren Asiskin, Chaya Saunders, and Candice Berkman. As well as Deborah, who you've all seen, and Uptown Events. The dinner committee, under the inspirational leadership of tonight's chair, Mrs. Lana Safran Batesh. You know, Lana has taken the word dedication to the next level, really. This is the 3rd year it's been done, and everything you see behind it, every detail has been thought through. This is someone who has put their entire neshama into tonight's night. All of us at Chabad around the country appreciate her and thank her for that, for her unwavering and unmatched commitment. But last but not least, we thank you. We thank every person who made it the effort to come here this evening. You know, the Rebbe preferred to use the term partners rather than donors, because a donor gives a donation and it's not necessarily something they're immediately connected to, but a partner has a vested interest in the project. It concerns them personally, which brings me to my personal appeal to everybody in this room. You are able to influence and reach frontiers that are beyond our reach. There are Jews who, for whatever reason, may not come to a rabbi's home for Shabbat dinner, but feel honored to be invited to your Shabbat table. There are people who would be delighted to attend a lunch and learn in your office. And there are those who form whatever a rabbi or I might do may seem a little old-fashioned, but for some reason, when you do it, then it's already hip. So in truth, this must be the modus operandi of every Jew, where everyone in their own way can say to another one of our family, Shalom, Ani Mechabad, welcome home. Thank you.